Be me, 35, married 7 years to Jenna. Engineer, stable job, own a decent house in the suburbs. Thought we were doing fine, not fireworks every day, but solid. We had routines, inside jokes, talked about maybe starting to try for kids soon. Then she came back from that girls' trip to Austin. I got home from work on a Tuesday and she was waiting in the living room, 2 glasses of wine already poured. That's never good. That's her "we need to talk" setup, and my stomach dropped before she even opened her mouth. "Mark, sit down. I want to discuss something important." I sat. She didn't touch her wine, just kept rotating the stem between her fingers. "I've been doing a lot of self-reflection lately," she started, "and I should have known right then where this was going. That phrase? And I've realized that I've been conditioned by a lot of societal expectations that don't actually serve me." I just stared at her. "I think we should open our marriage." The words hung there. I heard them, but they didn't make sense, like she'd just told me we should move to Mars. What? An open marriage. Ethical non-monogamy. I've been reading about it, and I've talked to my therapist, and it's actually a really healthy way for people to grow individually while maintaining their partnership. My therapist. She'd been going for 3 months and never once suggested I come along. "Jenna, where's this coming from?" "I just told you. I've been thinking about my needs, my autonomy. We got together when I was 23, Mark. I never got to really explore who I am as a sexual being, as an independent person." "We've been together 10 years. You're bringing this up now?" She got that look, the one where I'm being unreasonable just by asking questions. "I'm bringing it up now because I've grown enough to articulate it. I've been working on myself, going to therapy, reading, having conversations with people who've actually examined their relationship structures instead of just defaulting to what their parents did." "Is there someone specific?" Her jaw tightened. "That's exactly the kind of possessive question I'm talking about. This isn't about someone else. This is about me reclaiming my agency. That's not an answer. I don't owe you an interrogation, Mark. I'm trying to have an adult conversation about evolving our relationship, and you're already making it about control and jealousy." I felt like I'd been punched. We'd been fine 3 weeks ago. Better than fine. We'd gone to her company holiday party, and she'd held my hand the whole night, introduced me to her new work friends, Rachel and some others from the marketing department. Younger crowd, lots of talk about toxic monogamy and unlearning patriarchal relationship models. "So you've already decided," I said quietly. "I've decided what I need. I'm hoping you'll respect that." "And if I don't?" She looked at me like I'd just proven her point. "Then I guess we'll have to examine why you need to control my body and my choices." I sat there, glass of wine untouched, watching my wife of 7 years tell me that wanting monogamy made me a controlling patriarch. "I need to think about this," I managed. "Take your time," she said, but her tone said she'd already moved on. "I just need you to know that I'm doing this. With or without your permission. I'd prefer to do it ethically, with communication, but I'm not going to keep shrinking myself to fit into a box that was built by a society that doesn't value women's sexual freedom." She got up, took her wine, and went upstairs. I heard her on the phone an hour later, laughing. That high, excited laugh she used to have with me. I slept on the couch that night. She didn't come check on me. I agreed. What else was I supposed to do? She'd made it clear that no wasn't an option. It just meant I was a bad person. So I said, okay, let's try it, hoping maybe she'd realize what she was risking and pump the brakes. She didn't pump the brakes, she hit the gas. Within a week, she'd downloaded 3 apps. I know, because I saw the notifications lighting up her phone while she was in the shower. Hinge, Field, something else I didn't recognize. She started going out Thursday nights, then Friday, then Saturday. New dresses I'd never seen, new perfume that wasn't the one I'd bought her for Christmas. "Where are you going?" I asked the second Thursday. "Out with Rachel. We're meeting some people for drinks." "What people?" That look again. Mark, we talked about this. You don't get to police my time. She came home at 3 in the morning. I was awake, sitting in the dark living room. She saw me inside like I was the problem. You're not my father. I'm your husband. Exactly. Not my owner. I stopped asking after that. The house became a hotel where we occasionally crossed paths. She'd breeze in to change clothes, disappear into the bathroom for an hour doing her makeup, and leave without saying goodbye. Some nights, she didn't come home at all. Stayed at Rachel's. She'd text at 10 a.m. the next day. No apology, no acknowledgement that maybe not coming home without a heads up was basic courtesy. I tried to talk to her about how I was feeling. Once. Jenna, I'm struggling with this. Can we sit down and talk? She was on her phone, texting someone, smiling. Sure, later. Later never came. I started noticing she was different when she was home. Giddy, secretive, constantly checking her phone. She'd giggle at messages, then angle the screen away if I walked by. Good news? I asked once. Just a meme Rachel sent, she said, but I saw her quickly swipe away from what looked like a conversation with a name I didn't recognize. A guy's name. I didn't push it. According to her, pushing it made me toxic. The third week, her parents invited us to their Sunday barbecue. Family thing, happens every month. I figured she'd skip the last one, said she had plans, but she said she'd go. We drove separate cars because she might leave early. I got there first. Her dad, Tom, shook my hand, asked how work was going. Normal stuff. Her mom, Linda, fussed over the potato salad. I helped set up chairs in the backyard, trying to look normal while my marriage imploded in slow motion. Jenna showed up an hour late, apologized to her parents, kissed her mom's cheek. She barely looked at me. Spent most of the afternoon inside, taking pictures with her mom, checking her phone, laughing at something I wasn't part of. I was sitting at the picnic table, staring at my burger, when someone sat down next to me. You look like you're at a funeral, not a BBQ. Sophie, Jenna's younger sister. I'd always liked Sophie. She was the opposite of Jenna in most ways. Quieter, steadier, worked as a nurse, didn't post every meal online, didn't need constant validation. We'd never been close, just friendly at family things. Just tired, I said. She didn't buy it. You sure? Because you've been sitting here alone for like 20 minutes and you've barely touched your food. I forced a smile. Work stuff. Mark. She said it gently, like she knew I was lying but wouldn't push. You don't have to bullshit me. Something about the kindness in her voice cracked something open. I didn't unload on her. I'm not that guy, but we started talking. About work, about her job at the hospital, about the awful cafeteria coffee she had to drink during night shifts. Nothing heavy, just easy conversation. It was the first real connection I'd felt in weeks. Jenna came outside eventually, didn't even glance our way. She was on her phone, typing rapidly, that same smile on her face. When the BBQ wrapped up, Sophie walked me to my car. Hey, she said, pulling out her phone. If you ever need to vent about work stress or whatever, I'm around. I know family stuff can be weird. She texted me her number. I saved it, thanked her, drove home to an empty house. Jenna didn't come home that night. I stared at Sophie's contact on my phone at 2 in the morning and felt pathetic for how much that simple gesture had meant. I started texting Sophie. Nothing inappropriate, just casual stuff. She'd send me memes about hospital chaos. I'd complain about code reviews. It felt normal in a way nothing else in my life did. Jenna, meanwhile, had fully checked out. She was home maybe 2 nights a week, and when she was there, she acted like I was an annoying roommate. I'd try to ask about her day. She'd give me one-word answers and disappear into the bedroom with her phone. One Saturday morning, I was making coffee and she came downstairs in a new outfit. Tight jeans, low-cut top, heels. It was 10 a.m. Going somewhere? I asked. Brunch with friends? Which friends? She grabbed her purse. Does it matter? It's a question, Jenna. And I don't owe you my itinerary. She checked her reflection in the hallway mirror, adjusted her hair. This is what an open marriage means, Mark. I don't have to report to you like a child. She left. Came home at midnight, smelling like cologne that wasn't mine. I stopped sleeping in our bed. She didn't notice. Sophie and I started meeting for coffee. It started as a one-time thing. She suggested it after I'd sent her a particularly stressed-out text about work, but then it happened again the next week, and the week after. It was easy with her. She didn't perform, didn't need to be the center of attention. We'd sit in the corner of this quiet cafe, and she'd tell me about difficult patients or her asshole co-worker, and I'd actually laugh. Real laughs, not the polite ones I'd been doing for months. You seem lighter, she said one afternoon, about a month into our coffee routine. Then what? Then at the BBQ, you were like a ghost. I stirred my coffee, not sure how much to say. Sophie knew something was off, but I hadn't told her details. She was Jenna's sister. It felt like crossing a line. Things have been complicated at home, I said carefully. Sophie's expression shifted. She looked like she was debating something, then leaned forward. Mark, I'm not blind. Jenna's my sister and I love her, but I've also known her for 29 years. I see how she treats people when she gets like this. Like what? Like she's bored. Like she's looking for the next thing to make her feel special. Sophie bit her lip. I shouldn't have said that. It's fine. It's not fine. You're married to her. I shouldn't be talking about her like this. But she'd said it, and it was the first time someone had acknowledged what I'd been feeling, that this wasn't normal, that I wasn't crazy for being hurt. We kept meeting. Coffee turned into lunch sometimes. Then one Saturday, she convinced me to come to a bookstore with her. You need to get out of the house, she'd texted. Meet me at Baldwin's at 2. Jenna had announced that morning she was going to Denver for a conference. 4 days, Thursday through Sunday. I knew it was bullshit. Her company didn't have a Denver office, and she'd been giggling at her phone all week. Sure, I'd said. Have fun? She looked almost disappointed that I didn't push back. At the bookstore, Sophie dragged me through the sci-fi section, teasing me about my boring taste in space operas. We reached for the same book at the same time, some new release we'd both heard about, and our hands touched. It wasn't accidental lightning bolt movie shit. It was just a moment. We both felt it. She pulled her hand back, laughed nervously. Sorry, she said. Don't be. We grabbed coffee after, sat in her car in the parking lot talking for 2 hours. The conversation drifted to relationships. Her ex, who'd strung her along for 3 years, my current nightmare. I always thought Jenna was lucky, Sophie said quietly. You're the kind of guy who shows up. Who actually tries. Trying doesn't seem to matter much these days. It matters, she said, and the way she looked at me made my chest tight. It matters to people who aren't too self-absorbed to notice. I should have gone home. Instead, I said, Jenna's leaving for Denver Thursday. She'll be gone through Sunday. I know, she told my mom. Do you want to grab dinner? Friday, Sophie hesitated. We both knew what this was, what it could become. Yeah, she said. I do. Friday night, we met at a small Italian place across town, somewhere Jenna and I had never been. Sophie wore a simple blue dress, minimal makeup. She looked beautiful. We talked through appetizers, entrees, dessert. 4 hours passed like nothing. She told me about nursing school, about her ex, about how she'd always felt like the boring sister compared to Jenna. You're not boring, I said. You're just real. She smiled at that. In the parking lot, we stood by her car. She was leaning against the driver's door, and I was closer than I'd been before. Mark, she said softly. Yeah? If I'm reading this wrong, tell me. You're not She kissed me. Tentative at first, then more certain. I kissed her back, and it felt like the first honest thing that had happened to me in months. When we pulled apart, she looked worried. This is complicated. I know. She's my sister. I know. And you're still married. To someone who's in Denver with another guy right now, I said. She made the rules, Sophie. I'm just living by them. She nodded slowly. Okay. But we should be careful. We were careful. For about 2 weeks, Jenna came home from Denver different, deflated. She didn't say anything about the trip, didn't show me pictures or talk about the conference. She just went straight upstairs and stayed there. I figured the guy had disappointed her somehow. I didn't ask. I was done asking. 2 weeks later, she came home on a Friday afternoon, early, unexpected. I was in the kitchen when she walked in, face puffy from crying. Mark, we need to talk. I turned around, saw her red eyes, and felt nothing. No panic, no sympathy, just tired. Okay. She sat at the kitchen table, folded her hands like she was praying. I think I made a mistake. Which mistake? This whole thing, the open marriage. I think we rushed into it. I want us to reconnect, go to couples therapy, maybe take a trip, really work on us. I leaned against the counter. What happened? Nothing happened. I just realized that what we have is important, and I don't want to lose it. What happened? She broke, started crying, that ugly, gasping kind. He told me he didn't want anything serious. I thought we had something real, and he was seeing other people the whole time. He didn't even care. The guy from Denver. Or maybe someone else. Didn't matter. So when it's convenient for you, we're closed again. She looked up, confused by my tone. I'm trying to fix this, Mark. You're trying to fix this now that your backup plan didn't work out. That's not fair. Isn't it? You demanded an open marriage, told me I was controlling for being hurt, disappeared for months, and now that some guy didn't want you the way you wanted him, suddenly you remember I exist. I never stopped caring about you. You stopped coming home, Jenna. She stood up, frantic now. Okay, I messed up. I know I did. But we can fix this. We can go back to how things were. I don't want to. The words hung there. What? I don't want to go back. I don't think I want this anymore. Her face went white. You don't mean that. My phone buzzed on the counter. I glanced at it. Sophie, asking if I wanted to grab dinner tomorrow. Jenna's eyes followed mine, saw the notification. Before she could say anything, her own phone lit up. A text from Rachel. A screenshot. Sophie and I at the farmer's market last Sunday. My arm around her waist, both of us laughing. Rachel's message. Are you seeing this? The temperature in the room dropped. Jenna grabbed her phone, stared at the picture, then at me. What the fuck is this? Sophie and I have been spending time together. Spending time? She was screaming now. You're fucking my sister? We're not sleeping together. Oh, so you're just dating her? That makes it better. You literally spent 4 days in Denver with another man. That's different. How? Because she's my sister. Because you're my husband. The hypocrisy was stunning. I almost laughed. You told me to see other people, Jenna. You said I was controlling for wanting monogamy. You've been staying out all night for 2 months, coming home smelling like someone else, and telling me I needed to work on my jealousy issues. So I moved on. You don't get to be mad about that. This is betrayal. No. Betrayal was you demanding an open marriage so you could fuck someone guilt-free while keeping me as your safety net. I'm just living by the rules you created. She was pacing now, hyperventilating. You manipulated her. Sophie would never. You took advantage. Sophie's a grown woman who makes her own choices. Unlike you, I didn't assume I owned her. Jenna grabbed her keys, her purse. You're a piece of shit, both of you. I can't believe... She was crying again, but it was rage crying now. I want you out. Out of this house. Out of my life. The house is in both our names. And you're the one who left the marriage, Jenna. Not me. She slammed the door so hard a picture frame fell off the wall. I stood there in the silence, feeling the strangest sense of calm. My phone buzzed again. Sophie. My mum just called. Jenna told her everything. Are you okay? I texted back. I'm fine. Are you? Yeah. My mum asked what Jenna expected to happen. I'll call you later. Even her parents knew. Jenna tried to call me 16 times that night. I didn't answer. I filed for divorce the following Monday. Jenna tried everything. Lawyers, threats, crying voicemails about how I'd ruined her life, how I'd betrayed her family. She wanted the house, wanted alimony, wanted to punish me for not playing the role she'd written. Her parents didn't back her up. Tom called me privately, said, "You did what you had to do, son." I'm sorry it came to this. The divorce took 4 months. Messy, expensive, exhausting, but final. Sophie and I took things slow during that time. No relationship, just friendship while I dealt with the legal mess, but we stayed close. She'd send me coffee during long mediation days. I'd pick her up after rough hospital shifts. 6 months after I moved out, we went to the same cafe where we'd had our first coffee together. "How are you doing?" she asked. "Really?" I thought about it. "I'm good." Actually good, not just saying it. She smiled. "You look lighter, like you did at the bookstore." "I ran into Jenna last week," I said, "at the grocery store." "How was that?" "Sad mostly." She tried to make small talk, said she didn't think I'd actually leave. I told her I hoped she found whatever she was looking for. That's generous. She was hurting. I don't need to hurt her more. Sophie reached across the table, took my hand. "You're allowed to be happy now. You know that, right?" I squeezed her hand. "Yeah. I'm starting to." We left the cafe, walked to my car. She was moving to a new apartment next month, bigger place, closer to mine. I was helping her pack this weekend. Jenna was still out there somewhere, posting cryptic quotes online about betrayal and growth. I didn't check anymore. I thought about the night she demanded an open marriage, so certain she was reclaiming her freedom. Turns out, I was the one who needed freeing. I just didn't know it until I found someone who made freedom feel like home.